Charles Lechmere does not fit the witness description or the FBI profile of the killer. Most witnesses place the man they believe to have been the killer between his mid-20s to mid-30s. The FBI profile put the age of the killer between 28 and 36 years old and states that the perpetrators of such crimes are usually mid to late 20s. Lechmere was born in October 1849 and was 38 and 39 years old during the autumn of 1888. A popular argument is that his route to work correspond with the locations and time of the murders, and that he killed on his way to work. This is evidently not the case. While Polly Nichols was found when he was on his way to work, this is not the case with other victims. It is reasonable to assume he worked from Mondays to Saturdays and had Sundays off. Annie Chapman was killed around 5:30 in the morning on a Saturday. This would have been when Lechmere was at work. Elizabeth Stride and Catherine Eddowes were killed on a Sunday in the middle of the night, and Charles Lechmere would have been free from work and too early for him to walk to his workplace anyway. Mary Jane Kelly was killed on a public holiday, Lord Mayor's Day, in the middle of the night. Lechmere would have been free from work. This makes the idea that he killed on his way to work ridiculous. Another argument is that it would not be unnatural for him to have blood on his clothes, as he probably delivered slaughtered meat. He worked as a carman, and if he delivered meat, it would have been wrapped in or packaged. This means he would not be covered in blood at work. A common argument for suspicion is that despite his real name being Charles Lechmere, he gave his name as Charles Cross at the inquest. Although this may seem a bit off, giving a pseudonym, false name or nickname at the inquest does not prove any guilt or connection to the murders whatsoever. The argument that he was Jack the Ripper rests solely on the Polly Nichols case. No evidence whatsoever connects Lechmere to any of the crime scenes. The arguments and so-called evidence against him, except from being found at the murder site shortly after the murder, rests solely on speculation and what-ifs. The only thing that ties him to the double event is that his mother lived in the area and that it is possible that he could have visited his mother that night. There is no evidence of him visiting his mother that night, and even less for murdering Stride and Eddowes. The so-called Lechmere theory is based on assuming Lechmere was the Ripper and then cherry-picking and inventing new evidence to fit the narrative. All other arguments against him is pure speculation and what-if scenarios. The most extreme versions of the theory claims he was also behind the Torso murders and the other Whitechapel murders, which is laughable and completely unfounded. There is no evidence that Charles Lechmere was Jack the Ripper. The lack of evidence and the reliance on speculation to fill those gaps makes the theory not only historically and legally indefensible, but frankly absurd. I will release a video soon debunking the case against Lechmere in its entirety.